Hello, hello. I'm just a little moment late here. Alrighty. There we go. Okay. Hey everyone. Thank you. Wow, already starting early with being weird people, huh? Hey Lizzie. I do, Shannon. I do. I am doing both. All right. Hi, Whitney, BMC, Gabby. Well, that's awesome. I appreciate that. You would be so obsessed that you don't just comment in one chat, you comment in two chats. Are you going to go into the other one as well and comment and be weird? Wouldn't surprise me. Hi, everyone. Oh, thanks, nobody. I appreciate that. We are just getting everything started. Yeah, it's super weird. Why they gotta be so weird? And hi, Crystal, CJ, Captain. That one TV show your daughter enjoys? They are weird people, weird stalkers. She's behind me. It's so hard for me to figure out which way to go. Hello. Oh, there she is. There she is. I found her. Hi, mamas. The real star of the show, am I right? Oh, the kitty is wherever she wants to be. She is wreaking havoc in the house. I'll be honest with you. That's what she's doing. We'll go ahead and pop this out too and put it over here. She's wreaking havoc somewhere in here. Just so everyone knows. There we go. All right, let's see here. How are we doing? Oh man, I didn't update that. Okay. Delete. Yes, the dog is super cute, Jocular. I agree. She's super cute. Thank you. All right. Okay. All right, Tiki-Talkie. You know you gotta get the likes up. Get 'em moving. Get 'em moving. Let's go. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, man. That. Okay, so that's not set yet. That one's set. All right. Everything's looking good. Thanks, Moose. I appreciate that. How about the 100% tariff on auto or semiconductors, guys? Isn't that fun? It's not always just fun. Everything is so much fun. I'm sorry, BMC. Did I miss something that you had said? I'm sorry if I did. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Okay. The dog is oh, she stopped when you could see her. She's so silly. She's such a silly one. It always happens, right? Oh, thanks, Deborah. Oh, the kitten chaos is out of this world, Jocular. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Nigger.
Do you have to take time to make that new phone number? Does it make you feel good about yourself? You're so weird. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah.
How old are you?
Yes. 37.
Did you vote for Trump?
No, I did not.
Okay, well, I appreciate you. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Guess not. We'll do this then. Hi, are you there?
Thanks for calling. This is Oprah Winfrey. Thank you for calling in. Yes, I'm here. This is Howard Stern. How are you, Oprah?
I'm good. That's how I'm doing. I'm good. No idea, Jess. Not yet, BMC. I have not. I might attempt to dial them up myself. Hi, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Going well. How old are you?
25.
Did you vote for Trump?
Of course I did.
Do you still support him?
Every single day.
Hmm.
Didn't you just see Apple's record investment of $600 billion? General Electric just announced $650 million yesterday, moving their manufacturing from China to the U.S. Record investment is being made in the U.S., creating job opportunities, salaries are going to go up. And why? You hate him because he what? Why do you hate Trump? Look at the news. Apple investing $600 billion in the U.S., opening a plant in Kentucky to create thousands of jobs.
Yeah, was it actually 600 billion?
Look at the news. Apple, every single screen that's going to come from an iPhone is going to be manufactured in the U.S. in Kentucky. Oh, so why? Now you're a liberal and you're going to boycott Apple now?
No,
Your
no,
people are
I was
idiots.
actually... Oh, now you're going to run away. But, I mean, that's cool. All I did was ask you a clarifying question, and you just said, of course. Like, that's the answer to everything. Yeah, that's true too, Taurus. There goes the price of iPhones. He doesn't know how to leave. see. Hi, how old are you?
I'm 30.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
And you still support him?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So, quick question. If the price of the next iPhone does not go up like you say it will, what would you say then?
That's not even what I said. I was just reading a comment. Did I not? Just read a comment.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
didn't even read it out loud. I said, you're right, it might. I didn't say it most certainly will.
But isn't that the general belief on your side that anything made in America is going to be super expensive and super out of reach
What's my
for the normal
side?
people?
Can you help me out? What's my side?
The libtard, the liberals.
I'm not a liberal.
No, you're not. Are you a progressive? Are you a Democrat? What are you?
I'm an unaffiliated voter. I don't align
Did
myself
you
with
did you
either
vote
party.
for
I think both parties have a lot of
did you
issues.
vote for Trump?
No, I did not vote for Trump.
Did you vote for the other person, the Harris?
Yes, I voted for Harris.
Okay, then that makes you a Democrat.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, so
Then
am I a
if
Democrat for
that's the
voting?
case, if that's the case, let me be clear. So does that mean everybody that said that they've been a lifelong Democrat and then they just voted for Trump this time, but they can still consider themselves a Democrat? Does that mean that now all of a sudden because they voted for Trump that they are a Republican?
No, it just means you used to be a Democrat and now you're a Republican.
Oh, so wait, one vote changes your entire party affiliation?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
For
do you
example,
know what the
I'll
Constitutionalist
give you
Party
an
is?
example.
No. Can you answer? Do you know what the Constitutionalist Party is?
Well, it changes, right? It used to be the Democrats, now it's the Republican Party.
No, it's actually the name of a party, the Constitutionalist Party.
I never heard of it. Who's
Oh,
running that
okay.
party?
So when I was in North Carolina, there was someone that was running for the state representative, so like the state legislator, and he was marked down as the Constitutionalist Party. So because I voted for him, right after I voted for Harris, does that mean that I am a constitutionalist? Or am I a Democrat? Or am I just somebody that looks into policies and goes with that?
I mean, you can say you're a third party affiliate, but
I
for the
am.
most
I
part,
don't vote down ballot. I don't vote one way
yeah,
down
but you
ballot.
didn't
That's
vote
why
for
I was
that.
giving you. That's why. No, I did actually. I voted for the
No, you voted for
constitutionalist.
Kamala.
I
You voted for
voted
Kamala, didn't you?
for the presidency, but I didn't vote down ballot. I didn't go blue down ballot like everyone seems to think everybody does, right? So we voted for the constitutional representative in the state of North Carolina for the state legislator. Just like I voted before for Gregory Murphy, who is an active House of Representatives member of Congress representing North Carolina, I voted for Tom Tillis, who is also a senator in North Carolina, from North Carolina, in the United States Senate. So can you explain to me exactly what party affiliation you believe I have if I voted for two Republicans, a constitutionalist, and a Democrat? So which one am I? Which one am I?
You just named
Which one am I?
You just named a
Which
whole
one I
bunch
am?
of nobodies.
I'm
You just
sure
named a whole
almost
bunch of
everybody
nobodies that
that's even
nobody
not
knows
even.
about.
So you might not know of them, sir, and that's your personal issue. But other people that are from North Carolina definitely
Yeah,
know their
I've
names.
never heard of those
So
names,
can
to
you
be honest
explain
with
to me
you.
which party am I supposed to be affiliated with? I've honestly just given you the
I know
different
you're trying to
parties that I voted
complicate
for
things,
her.
but you voted for Kamala, which makes you a Democrat. It's that simple. You
No,
want
I
to complicate
don't.
it, you go
So
ahead.
because
I'm
you
not
voted
trying
for
to.
Trump, that no longer makes you a Republican. That makes you MAGA, right?
The Republican Party.
No, he's MAGA.
And I'm a registered Republican, so I
No,
don't know what you're
but
trying to
Donald
say.
Trump is MAGA. He said his party name is MAGA. So you're
No,
MAGA, right?
Republican.
Make
Republican.
America
I don't know
gay
why you're
again,
trying
am
to
I
twist
right?
it. I'm sorry, that's your slogan.
No, that's your guys'
That's your
slogan. You just
slogan.
don't know what it
Doesn't
is.
Kamala
Like,
have a weird kid like that that's trying to be a boy or a girl or some other freakish?
dude, I'm just saying, like, hey. Oh, Nismo, am I a bully or am I just pointing out the fact that he didn't know anything? All right. Guys, just as a reminder, this number is open. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hey,
Hi, how old are you?
I am 31.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
I remember if I did. Yeah, I did. I did vote for him last election here.
Okay. Do you still support him?
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like everything he does is perfect, but I think, well, I mean, he's a lot easier to support than the Democrats. I think that's people's main issue. I mean, I kind of knew it's not quite what you're asking calling in here, but, you know, I think a lot of people don't support Trump, which is fine, you know, but what they really say is, well, he's not the Democrats.
No.
And I think that's
So
the
here,
big thing
here
for most people.
I think we have a lack of, or a significant misunderstanding here. So when I'm asking why do you still support Trump, it's specific to why do you support him actively within his presidency. Since the Democratic Party is not in power in any branch of our government right now, I think it's disingenuous for someone to say, I mean, he's not a Democrat, so why wouldn't I support him? That's highly disingenuous when we already have at least 6.5 months of knowing what his policies are and what his standards are that he sets.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people aren't happy with the Epstein situation, but, you know, a lot of people voted for him because we wanted the illegals gone, and we kind of felt like the rainbow agenda was going too far. And for me, as long as he...
Gotcha, so you're just hateful.
Why is hate?
You have an inherent dislike for things that you don't understand.
Why do you assume I don't understand them? Just because I don't think something is good doesn't mean I hate it.
When you
I think it's very reductive to assume I just hate.
When you slap a label on it, when you slap a label on it, just saying that it's the it's the rainbow agenda. Yes, sir. So when you say
I
that
think it's a polite way to say that transgenderism's going too far.
Well, then you're also incorrect on that one as well, because if you're saying it's the rainbow agenda, I have news for you. They actually have their own flag. There's actually multiple flags to represent the transgender community. When you're talking about the rainbow,
I'm not saying they don't. You know what I mean,
when you
though,
are
right?
talking
That's all I'm trying
about
to
the
get across.
rainbow flag, let me be clear.
Sure.
You're talking about all of the letters that make up LGBTQI plus community. You're talking about the entire community. And let's also be clear, transgenderism is not a word. That is not a real thing, because it's also not a medical condition, nor is it a disease in any way, shape, or form. So when I'm telling you that you sound like you're being hateful, that's why. It's because it's something that you don't understand. So you have an inherent dislike for something that you don't understand, and something to I think at this point you can't even quantify why.
Let me ask you, how is dysphoria not a mental illness?
No, gender dysphoria on itself is a part of the DSM-5, and then that would be considered that. But not all individuals who identify as transgender are actually ever diagnosed with gender dysphoria.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of I can't remember how to say it, but yeah, I mean, unfortunately, there are a lot of older perverts. I mean, I'm not trying to be like that about it, but I don't see
You elected one.
Hey, man.
I'm not gonna, did.
Like I said, hey.
You elected a pervert.
Hey, you know what? I'll take that. I'll take Donald Trump being a pervert.
Do you take your kids to church?
I mean, I don't have any kids yet, but I might. This is what I was trying to tell you before. I didn't vote for Trump because, wow, I love Trump. Like, I met people who said, God gave us Trump, and I look at them like they're crazy. But I voted for Trump because the Democrats feel like an existential, crisis.
Yes, he did. Parkers. They didn't. It's also just,
Huh?
again, like, disingenuous to continue to bring up the Democratic Party. Again, they're not in any
Because
position
you
of
said
power.
well, you
They're
you
not
make
in
it about
any
I voted
position
for a
of
pervert.
power. Yeah, you did. That's a point of fact. There is no denying all of the things that Donald Trump has said about women, about his daughter, about young girls going into Miss Teen USA locker rooms, about grabbing women by their hoo-ha,
Do you assume I
directly
support him
ignoring
saying those things?
consent. No, I'm not assuming that, but it wasn't a deal breaker for you, and that's the problem.
I think the takeaway from that would be Donald Trump has said all these sexist, horrible things, and people still prefer him over the other options.
Yeah. So, but do
listen,
you understand
nobody
like how
wants
you're
to
not?
vote for
It's
Trump
not a deal
again.
breaker. That's definitely not true. But see, here's my thing, right? I look at both candidates, and I think that you do have to look at their personal life to judge them based off of what they're going to do when they're in the office of president. And so I can look at the fact that Donald Trump is actually a 34 count convicted felon, had 4 other pending indictments against him in multiple states across the country, right?
Do you think
I'm not done.
in a quote-unquote, okay.
Thank you. Had multiple indictments pending against him across the country at the time of the election. Just didn't have a sentencing that was coming up. It was postponed until after the election, which I think should have just happened prior. Thank you, Amy, for resubscribing. And I heard the things that he said about his daughter prior to the election actually happening. Saying that he had sex in common with his daughter, which is something I know for a fact that most adults would never, ever say that about their children because that's just an odd statement to make, right? Says that he ignores consent, blatantly ignores consent, called Diddy a great person multiple times on his show Celebrity Apprentice and The Apprentice, right? Everything where he's just ignoring blatantly consent, the crimes of other people. He said that Epstein was his good friend, all of these things. None of that was a deal breaker to you. And then the only bad thing that anybody can say about Kamala Harris that's actually true is that she had sexual relations with a man who was married but separated.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
What position of power did Willie Brown have when she started dating him?
Oh, I don't know. I don't really.
I'm going to give you a hint. He had none. And then even when they broke up, because it was only like a 6-month relationship, he also still had no position of power.
I don't feel like people are really holding that against her at this point. Like, people look at her and just, she's stupid. Like, I get it. It's not like, here's all these things supposedly that Trump has done. And it's not to say he hasn't. But at the same time, when you look at convictions for him in New York, would you trust a black guy to have a trial in like a sundown town? Like, no. So let's not act like because you got convicted in New York, it's definitely New York.
Then
I'm sure some of those other states
I'm gonna help you out with something. Don't commit crimes in a state where you don't think that you're gonna get caught in, or that you wouldn't have a fair trial in. And again, it's not the only state that he had pending charges in. He had pending charges in Georgia for the fake elector scheme. He had pending charges in Florida, and also additional pending charges in New York. So, like, let's be realistic here. Don't. Sure. And by the way,
do you feel
175
like he's been under more of a microscope? Do you feel like they go after him harder than they have other candidates?
No. Do you know why they went after him?
You don't? Why not?
No. The whole idea of like this boogeyman of a weaponized DOJ or something that they only went over
I'm not saying
Donald.
he's squeaky clean, but like I think it's kind of like the people at this point that like look at COVID and be like, no, the government never lied to us. It's like I can't even count your opinion at this point because you're demonstrating such a lack of awareness. Like, did they like? I just it was like. Yeah, we're talking about Democrats again, but we look at Biden and Hunter and the stuff with China and the laptop. If Trump had something even close to that, the lid would have been blown off right away. Like, I think just comparing him to what goes on with things with Biden and his, business deals and stuff shows that Trump was under an extra level of scrutiny.
And yet he served no time for his conviction. In fact, Judge Mershon put
Did
it off.
Did you expect him to? I mean, people talk about these Texas representatives getting arrested for leaving. Does anyone actually expect them to get arrested? Like, I'm not trying to be like nothing ever happens, but, you know, nothing ever happens. It's a politician doing politician things. I'm not going to sit there and say I support shady shit he done. But I also don't want open borders. And that's more pressing to me. It really is. I'm sorry he's been creepy to some escorts and prostitutes, but like...
And teenage girls, sir. He admitted on the Howard Stern show to walking in to teenage girls' dressing room at Miss Teen USA in per his own word, multiple stages of undress. Because he was inspecting the show. He did. We have women that have come out since they've turned of age, like way back when it happened, that said that it happened. Like, you can't say if it happened. No, sir, it literally did. We know this already. The denial is crazy. Even just like...
I'm not trying to deny it. I'm saying I wasn't there and he was on Howard Stern. And I imagine people who go on Howard Stern...
Does every crime have a witness?
No.
Okay. Does every crime require a witness?
I mean...
For you to believe that it's true? For you to believe that it's true, does every crime require a witness?
No, of course not. But in a situation like this...
In a situation like this.
Yes. In a situation like this where you have a man in power who acts in a way that a lot of women don't like just based on personality and the way he carries himself, women, like, I'm not going to say that he's never done anything, but women are more likely to make up rumors as their form of aggression, as though men are just going to hit someone. So I'm not trying to make out like women are the bad guys, because men will just go punch someone, and that's arguably worse in some situations. But I'm just saying, like, even fucking Bill Cosby, he's a piece of shit. I don't believe every single accusation that came out against him is true, because I'm sure there's at least someone who said, here's my opportunity.
You're gross.
I'm not saying... Okay, that's...
You are. You're excusing everything that happened. You're gross. No ifs, ands, or buts about that one. You quite seriously are. Thank you, Laid Back, for the 2 saying she's trying to distract us with those good looks. Bub said, hey, pretty lady, you need to give these people equal time. Love the show. Thank you as well. I'm trying to, but they're doing something. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yes.
What year were you born?
2000.
Good job. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
How old are you?
29.
Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Do you still support him?
Support him more than I would the other candidate.
No. It's, do you still support the president since he's been in office? It's not other candidate, because the other candidate didn't win. They didn't get... Holy shit! Oh my god.
You all right there?
Hold on. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, Sophia, thank you so much. I have never gotten a Zeus. That was so cool. It's a TikTok gift. That was so cool. Oh my god. I have to, oh my god. I'm a little bit struck on that one. That was so awesome. I don't know. Okay. I'm so sorry. Okay.
That's okay.
Do you still support the sitting president?
Do I still support the sitting president? There's some things I don't, but yes, I support him.
Huge W, Sophia, by the way, in the chat. And Jocular, it'll be I'll put a video up and you can see it. Okay. What is your main reason for still supporting Trump? And thank you, King, for your very first gift on TikTok.
My main reasons for supporting Trump, as of right now, he's done a good job closing the borders. That was a huge, huge issue for me. And he's looking into the weaponization of the DOJ and some of the things that Obama did during his presidency.
How did Trump close the border?
The amount of illegal immigrants that have crossed the border has decreased substantially.
How did he close the border?
I thought I just answered that.
You didn't. You just said what is currently
The amount of-
happening.
The amount of so he's enforced policies to decrease the amount of illegal immigrants that are crossing our border.
Okay, like what
that is-
policy specifically is being enforced that
Whatever
wasn't
he is
previous?
doing that has whatever umbrella of policies that he is implementing that have led to the decrease in illegal immigration. I'm not going to get into specifics.
So what you're telling me is you don't know?
I'm telling you, I can start shooting off a couple things, but that would pigeonhole me into a
Because
conversation
you don't know?
or an ideology that I don't want to get into. No, I mean it's very straightforward. It's black and white.
It's
He
not
implemented
black
policies
and
that have
white,
led
you just
to
don't know.
Okay, sure. Whatever floats your boat. I know that he's actively increased the. Look, I'm not going to get into it. At the end of the day, he's implemented policies that have decreased the amount of illegal immigration. Yes or no?
No.
Very simple. Okay, so then why are we seeing a decrease in illegal immigrants per your understanding?
Honestly, so we were actually already seeing a significant trend of decrease in migration coming to this country. Even in just the last 3 months of the Biden administration, it was on a significant trend down. Even just mostly 2024 in general, it was on a downward trend.
Biden, the last 3 months of his administration, did a huge 180. Realized that was going to be something that he loses on, and he started making moves to close that off. You're absolutely right, but he also actively fought against Texas when they were trying to fight their border. I mean, he literally did everything he absolutely could to open the border, so I'm not going to sit here and have you dangle a carrot in front of me and lead me into some bullshit fucking argument.
What exactly did he do to open or go out of his way to start opening the border?
You're obviously fucking gone, but I'm congratulations on whatever
gone.
it is you received, and I hope you have a great day.
Sure. Thanks for the concession. Yes, that was boring user. Yeah, he literally didn't know. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, how you doing?
Doing well. How old are you?
I'm 72. I'm not a Trump supporter, but I just want to tell you real quick that I enjoy your live. I look for it every day. And most of the Trump supporters, they cannot comprehend what you're saying because they are in a cut.
You got it, man. I appreciate that. You're totally right.
Okay, have a best day.
You too. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, hi. How are you doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
Oh, not too bad.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 35.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
So I didn't, and I know that usually ends the conversation, but I think there's some nuanced points that maybe like those of us that didn't vote for him have to deal with now because of the realities of his successful implementations.
So are you saying you still support Trump?
I'm not saying that I support Trump. I'm saying that there's been some really surprising successes under the administration that I wasn't anticipating, and I think could potentially allow him to garner more support. And I think like those of us that didn't vote for him need to find ways to talk about them and address them in a meaningful way. So
I mean, if
specifically
people
on the
ask me if he's done some good, I'll say yes. Like, so for example, there is no argument that at least the start of no tax on tips and no tax on overtime, which is improperly worded because it's really just a tax deduction at the end of the year when you file your taxes. That is a good starting point, and that's definitely a progressive policy, which I would endorse. So I don't really see what you mean exactly by basically just saying, like, I talk about these things. Is this your first time watching the show?
No. I've been watching the past couple days,
Okay.
and I think what was more interesting was some of the, I guess, and this is not necessarily speaking directly about your rhetoric here, but I think on foreign policy, he's had some surprising successes in terms of increasing NATO participation. Even today, we saw him really take a harder line stance on Indian purchase of Russian oil, which is something we should have been doing to Europeans for a while if we were going to support Ukraine. There's a whole variety of those things, to include his successful negotiations with the European Union recently that really benefit the U.S. Unfortunately, like it was more successful than I thought.
Bumping up the NATO defense pact from 2% to 5% is only going to hurt Americans in the long run. So I would disagree with you there.
I'd be interested to understand why you think that, because
do you know how much we currently contribute to our or put back into our own defense fund from our GDP?
I don't know the exact number, but I do know it's extremely high. I work in that arena. So.
It's not extremely high.
Into our own defense budget?
Yeah, it's 3.57%. So if we have a defense budget that is $1.14 trillion now, which is putting in, again, 3.57 into our GDP from what we currently have, that's less money than we're going to put back into our actual citizen and our population, right? So we have 1.14 times 0.00357. That's still going to be what, like, it's, sorry, I did that wrong.
Oh, sorry.
Times 0.05. See, that's the problem with doing it without actually doing all the zeros. I hate doing the zeros, though. That's only billion, but there we go. So in order to meet that 5%, we would have to be putting in $57 billion additional into, is that? Yeah, that's billion. So that's additional billion dollars that would go into our DoD, which only expands the military itself and doesn't actually expand upon any of the social programs to do anything good directly for our citizen population. And it's only about bolstering our military.
Well, I think there's a bit of a misnomer there. So first, let me push on this that I was kind of saying was a success, was the increase in NATO participation to exceed the 2%. I think there was maybe 3 or 4 countries at most that were actually participating at the level agreed to in the
That's
alliance.
Not true. And there was actually 3 or 4 that weren't participating or meeting the 2%. It's the opposite.
No, absolutely not. It was
okay.
That's, I think, statistic. It was, I believe, it was 6 participants in 2021, up to 23 or 24 now by 2024. So a 300% increase in actual participants meeting the threshold within the alliance.
All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 countries that are meeting. No, this is only as of January of 2025. So this was before Donald Trump met there. So we'll go ahead and put this up. And this is only based off of the figures for 2024 because that year just passed. So let's be very clear. You were entirely wrong about how many countries were not meeting it. It's actually, again, the opposite. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 countries that are not meeting the 2%.
Okay, look, all right, so Donald Trump initiated this in his first term. Under his first term,
No, it was also pressed upon by Obama. It was just wasn't publicized as much because Obama didn't go out and speak to the press every single day or demand that the press has a press conference in his Oval Office every single day. If you actually look into it, you will see that the push for the 2% was actually started by Obama. Donald Trump just went in and decided to make it like a strong arm by telling everybody and saying that Donald Trump was saying that NATO countries owed us money. They weren't paying their fair share, having a blatant misunderstanding of even what the NATO defense funding was.
So if you'll let me just talk for a second. I work on the Hill.
Can you just acknowledge that you were wrong?
I wasn't. So my
You were wrong.
Wait,
Only 8 countries were not meeting it as of 2023 and 2024. Only 8 countries. Can you admit you are wrong?
My claim.
Are you wrong yet? You're not wrong? Okay.
6 countries in 20.
Not wrong? Got it. If you can't admit basic facts that you are wrong about, then I don't have a need to talk to you. Oh, I know he doesn't. Most of them don't know anything about NATO. That's the part that always gets me. Hey, Dat Mello, and hi, Polypolitics. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
How old are you?
I'm 18. How old are you?
30. Did you vote for Trump?
What is your background in?
I know you ain't trying to date me, so that's not important to you.
It is?
It's not important to you.
Hello?
I just told you it's not important to you.
This is my first time calling the show, so I just thought I'd establish some sort of understanding.
I've never asked any single individual that has ever called into my show what they do or what their background is because I feel like it's not important. It derails from the purpose of the conversation in general. So when I tell you that it's not important to you, and especially if you're not trying to actively date me considering the age gap, which that would be weird and I would never even consider you a potential partner in that regard either, let's be very clear. It is unimportant to you what my background is.
May I speak freely so that I cannot be interrupted? And then
Did you vote for Trump?
May I please speak freely?
Not if you can't answer basic questions. Thanks, Jim. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
Hey, what's up? Am I on the show?
You are. How old are you?
I'm 21 years old.
Did you vote for Trump?
So this is a weird story. I'm a socialist. I kind of base my ideas off of it's less of a authoritarian socialism and more of a left leaning. But yes, I had some worries having to do with warfare this election cycle.
Did you vote for Trump?
Well, I can't stand that nigger Kamala.
Grow up. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? No one could hear you. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Grab him right by the pussy!
Yeah, that tracks. Right, Maine? Like, why is it so difficult to answer these questions today? Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Okay. Just a reminder, and sorry, TikTok's gonna be mad. We do have super chats and memberships available on the Red app. If you send one, it does go right up on the screen. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah.
Thanks for calling. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 47.
Did you vote for Trump?
No.
Thank you. Have a good one. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes,
How old are you?
I am 30 years old.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Do you still support him?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. What is your main reason for still supporting Trump?
My main reason for supporting Trump is everything that he's done for the country.
Can you list one reason? Like, give me one specific thing that you support that Trump has done.
Well, if just by going with the first term, the economy was great.
No, in his current term, sir.
Well, we're only 6 months in, so you could.
And he's done a lot. So can you tell me what thing that he's done in his 6 months of presidency, 6.5 months of presidency, that you actively support?
Yes, going into Iran with those bombers and knocking out the nukes that Iran was building. That was a tremendous thing. Iran is the evil of the world. You get rid of Iran, that could be major for the world, because you can't have Iran threatening, to kill off the Middle East and potentially America as well.
I thought Donald Trump campaigned on no new wars, and didn't he not say that he wasn't trying to do a regime change? And thank you, Eggs, for the 1999.
You're absolutely right that Donald Trump campaigned on no new wars, and he's an American first, and that was a big thing with a lot of people that they didn't want that, and it hurt some of the MAGA fans. There's no question about that. I'm a MAGA. I wouldn't say I'm Steve Bannon MAGA or Tucker Carlson MAGA, but there are times where there are unfortunately times where you have to make exceptions, and this was one of them. Iran was just a danger. This wasn't a long drawn out war. This is a quick in and out. Do you see any rockets getting fired now between Iran? Thank God, right? Nothing's going on. So I just think
no, just Iran guaranteed now that they were actually going to build WMDs.
All right, so then if unfortunately Iran talks a lot, they don't actually do a lot.
Unfortunately, I have a question for you, and I'm not trying to be rude here, but if we actually destroyed or made a hit, right, a landing on enriched uranium, right, wouldn't there have been, I don't know, a secondary explosion as a result?
Well, I'm not really sure what you're getting. I'm not an expert in this, but I know these things were 200 feet down in 200 meters, right? So I don't really know how you would see an explosion if it was that deep on the ground. Are you questioning all the generals that said, all the CIA intelligence that came out from the Pentagon?
None of that actually came out, but no, what I'm saying is like, do you know how we measure, do you know what seismic activity is?
Yes, I've heard of the term. I'm not an expert in it, to say the least. I'm saying regardless of how effective it was, the fact that Trump did it,
oh gosh,
no matter how effective it is, you could be you're right. It could be it wasn't effective. But you asked me what I support. Do I support that move? Absolutely, because Iran having a nuclear bomb is a terrible thing. Can you agree on that?
I think
Obama and the Biden, they would never have done that. They were trying to make deals with Iran. They gave billions to Iran. I think what Trump did was very useful and very smart. Can you please agree on that?
No, I will not agree with what the actions that Trump did were smart. What I will, because you didn't even let me answer your first question that you asked, so let me be clear. I don't think that any singular country in the entire world should have any access to WMDs or nuclear weapons at all in any way, shape, or form. That includes the United States of America. Now, you also have a blatant and very clear inherent misunderstanding of what the JCPOA even was, and you don't even know what seismic activity is. It's what we would use to measure earthquakes. So if we had actually taken out any part of uranium that's 200 feet underground, which is exactly what these bunker bombs are designed to do, right? You drop one, and then depending on what it takes out, that's when you drop the other one, because the first one's just to clear off like the surface layer, right? And then Correct. The second one goes deeper, right? And it does have the potentiality to actually hit that deep. So if we actually took out their nuclear program, their WMDs supposedly that they had or that they were building, there would have been a secondary explosion that occurred underground, which could have been measured by seismic activity in the area. But in fact, there was none. So saying that their nuclear program was taken out is incorrect from the start when they have a total prior to this, right? Prior to that attack. They had a total of seven nuclear facilities in Iran. And we only attacked 3, right? The United States only attacked 3. Okay?
Right, but those 3, I'm sorry to interrupt because I just want to bring out a point from what you were just in the middle of saying. They had 7 impacts. I think there was 14 or 12. I think it was 14 actual bombs, bunker bombs that they put in.
There was only 3. That means there were 6.
No, they put in. They used 6. I think they used 6 planes, and each one carried 2.
They used 3 planes. They did 3 attacks. They only attacked 3 nuclear facilities.
Yeah, I know that, but by Fordo, they put in a few extra. They didn't just put in 2. You could go check it up. By Fordo, they put in I think 3. I think they did a total of at least they either 3 separate planes or a few extra runs. I think each plane could only carry 2. So in Fordo, they dropped 12 in total. I think actually it was a crazy amount. It wasn't just 1 or 2, and there was plenty of seismic activity or whatever you want to call it. The CIA came out and they said 75% of it was totally destroyed. So I'm just saying, I don't know where you're getting your facts from, but regardless of whether it works or not, it was just the right thing to do. That's all I'm saying. It was the right thing to do.
Yeah, let's be clear that even Donald Trump himself even said that there was only 3 planes, that they dropped on only 3 facilities. Donald Trump himself only said 3 multiple times. This is on Fox News. This is on fucking Newsweek. This is on Newsmax. This is on the Daily Mail. This is on the Daily Beast. This is everywhere. Everywhere you look, you can see that they only attacked 3 facilities. In 3 planes per Donald Trump himself.
No,
it's on 60 Minutes. That's not true. It's on all of the news sites. What are you on?
Check it up right now. I promise you're wrong. Believe me, I know for sure I'm right. It was more than 3 planes. Yes, it was. It was 3 sites with 7 planes. Go check it up. It's not true. Hello? You there?
Well, that was easy. There's only 3 B-2 bombers. Okay, thank you again, Eggs, for the 1999. Also, thank you, Albanian, for the 1999 and saying Donald Trump's your hero. That's cool. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 61.
Okay, did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Do you still support him?
I do.
Awesome. What's your main reason that you still support Trump?
The deportation.
Okay, what specifically about the deportations? Do you have, if you have anything in specific, I guess.
I'm a working class person, and I don't know. I like the deportations. It makes me feel good.
It makes you feel good?
Yeah, that's it makes me feel good. I punch a clock for a living. It's different. I think it's different for working class people. And that's why
immigration, mass deportation makes you feel good because you're a working class individual?
77 million people voted for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And most of us wanted the deportation.
I don't understand your point with throwing out how many people voted for Trump.
Well, it's going to raise wages.
Do you even have a direct correlation causation that shows that
Well,
immigration?
Sure, labor is a commodity, like gold.
Do you have a
lot
study
of it, it's
that
worth more.
correlates the two?
Of course.
What's the study? Also, really quick, guys, on TikTok.
I don't need a study. I work for a living.
No,
don't need a study.
I actually just asked you for a study, and you said, of course, meaning that you had one. So when I'm asking you for a study, and then you say that you have one, you don't get to backpedal and say, I don't need one. No, I'm asking you for a peer-reviewed study.
Well, I'm telling you as a 61-year-old working class
I
man
don't
who's
care about
getting
your
close-
anecdotal stories,
Well-
sir. I can also have an anecdotal story I can pull from my hat.
Well, you can talk over every guest that calls, but that's not really changing anything. You asked me why I voted for Donald Trump.
I'm not trying to.
why.
I didn't ask you why you
Now,
voted for Donald
I didn't know I
Trump.
needed to present a study. Now, see, we're into an argument. You're going to hang up on me, right? That's what you're going to do.
No, I don't even
You're going to
care
hang up
that
on
much.
me, and then you're going to go to the next caller and talk over them and hang up on them.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah, betcha. Yeah, no. So what I asked for, and
What
I didn't
study
even
do you
ask you
need?
even once. I didn't even ask you even once why you voted for Trump. I asked you.
You asked me why I
very
voted for Trump,
No,
and I told you
didn't ask you why you
deportations. What are you
voted.
talking about?
I didn't ask you why you voted.
You
What?
asked, why did you vote for Donald Trump? And
No,
I
no.
said deportation.
I did not ask why you voted. I asked,
Okay.
did you vote for Trump? You said yes.
I did.
And then I asked, do you still support him? You said yes.
I do.
So then I asked, why do you still support Trump? Do you see how that's not the same question of why you voted for him?
Oh, you got me. Okay, well.
No,
the
it's just
reason
a
I
statement of
support Donald-
facts.
Well, I can listen to you talk. Do you want to let me talk, or do you want to? I'm confused.
Hey, Hector.
What's going on?
No, so when I ask you for the direct correlation causation that proves that immigration lowers wages for American citizens, right? We'll just say citizens of America, okay? I asked you specifically for a study. You said you had one. I asked you to give it to me. You said you couldn't present it to me. So if you're going to make a positive claim, which is immigration causes lower wages, you're going to need to prove it.
Well,
Your anecdotal evidence, your anecdotal stories are not evidence in any way, shape, or form.
So you think flooding the country with, let's say, 20 million people?
No, I want you to present your
is
study.
not going to affect low-skilled jobs? Is that what you're saying? I'm confused.
When did 20 million people come in here?
Okay. Well, I mean, okay. Let's say nobody came here. There's no
No,
illegals
I
here.
want you. Can you stay on like one thing instead of trying
no,
to backpedal?
No, because I don't know what.
You're actually impossible.
Now I know it's confusing because you've never worked for a living. You're 30 years old and you're a podcaster.
Oh, I've never worked. I love
I
it
don't
when
know.
people tell
Can you show me a study that says you worked? Can you show me a? I mean,
not without
you asked me why I
without
support Trump. I
presenting
said
people my
deportation.
personal information and my personal data. So no, sir. I am not going to willingly put my personal information out onto the internet past what my very first name is, which is on my fucking stream.
I don't care about your first name. I don't care to date you. You asked me why I supported Donald Trump. I said deportation.
I still didn't
told
even
you I
ask you
work
that
for a
question.
living. Yeah, I work for a living. I punch a clock. I'm a working class slob. So when I have to compete with people that are not supposed to even be in the country, that's going to affect my wages. That's why Donald Trump won in November. That's why 77 million people supported him. I don't need to give you a case study. That's why it happened. You don't like it, I understand, but that's why it happened. Put up better candidate.
I'm not a Democrat.
Well, put up better candidates. Do you think having President Biden, who had dementia, didn't even know where he was?
Oh, there we go. But
that
Biden.
was better than Trump?
Do you
Are
notice
really
how
gonna
you
sit here and try
can't
to convince
stay
us?
on one topic?
Well, you didn't want to stay on one topic. You jumped all over to these case studies that I'm supposed to present you. I'm telling
No,
you,
that's
I'm a
asking
working
me
class
for you to
person.
prove your claim. That's actually staying on
Well, I
topic.
think- okay,
when
this
you
is
make
how I
a
can prove my
positive
claim.
claim, when you make a
Okay.
positive claim and you say
Okay.
that wages
Well-
are being dragged down for American citizens because of immigration, then you need to source and provide
With-
your claim, proof
No,
for your claim.
I don't need a case study. I just common sense. Labor is a commodity. It's like sugar. If you have too much of it, it's not worth as much. So if you flood the country with low-skilled labor, you're going to drive down wages. There's
Based
only
off
so
of
many
what
jobs.
study?
There's only so many houses. There's only so many apartments. That's why rent is high. That's why homes are
I
high.
just want to listen to yourself talk. Is that why you called in?
No, you asked me why I supported Donald Trump, and
That's
I
a
said
good point,
deportation.
Lala. I like that one. Thank you.
Well, you can't handle the truth.
No, I can handle it because, see, I've actually done research on
You
this.
don't want to hear. You don't want to listen to American working class people.
Oh, gosh.
That's why Donald Trump won.
Are
Because
you
guys
good?
didn't listen. I don't know. You tell me. Are you done?
No, I didn't
I
even
don't know
say
what
that.
you're
Are
trying to
your
make.
are your ears okay?
No, it's just funny because.
No,
Yeah,
I mean, like,
don't know.
you're telling me all of these
Oh my
things.
God, the
Thank you,
working
Hector.
class slob.
You're
How
telling me
dare
all
he
of
make
these
a
things
point.
that I didn't say, including right
How
then
dare the
when I
working
just said,
class
"Are
slob
you
make a
good?"
point.
And you said, "I don't know. Are you done?" And I'm
How-
like, "I didn't
how-
even ask you if you were done. I
how
just literally
dare
just
the-
asked if you were good because every single time I seem to talk, you open your mouth while I'm in the middle of my sentence, and I'm trying to be polite. Just like JM, thank you for the $4.99. I'm literally trying with this guest, right? Like, I'm trying not to be rude, but he won't even stay on one topic. If you are going to make a positive claim that says that immigration is a net negative for wages for American citizens, I'm going to ask you to prove it. If that is
Okay.
staying on topic, but instead of
wages
doing
for
that,
the last
you go,
40
what do
years.
you think
That
would
ought to
happen
prove
if
it.
20 million people come into the country?
Keep
And then I
talking
ask
over
you,
me.
where did 20 million people come in from? Where, over what period of time? Where'd you get that number? And you have to pivot it again to a whole different topic because you don't
Right.
know where you got this number. Because guess what? The number doesn't exist. If you actually look at a report, and like, by the way, this report is put out about every 5 years by DHS. Let me pull it up for everybody just because people don't actually do research at any point in time in their life, apparently.
know.
For
I'm a
some
working class
ungodly
slob.
known
I'm stupid. I
reason,
don't
they
know
just
anything.
don't do research. But this is actually a study that's put out by DHS every 3 to 5 years, right? I'm just going to go ahead and put it up out on the screen for everybody so they can see it. I love pulling this out, right? It's called Estimates of the Unauthorized Immigrant Population Residing in the United States, published April of 2024. Mind you, they did this exact same study under Trump's administration when it was released in 2018, and the numbers all match for what they were talking about, okay? So within this study, what they say is that over the last 40 years, there is an estimated 11 million individuals that are undocumented in this country. So they would be what you would consider illegal, but I'm just going to call them undocumented or unauthorized citizens, okay? There are 11 million within the last 40 years. And guess what? I have news for everyone that may not know this. 80% of that 11 million came in before 2010, which means the other 20% came in after that. And if you want to make an argument that you're not able to look this stuff up, sir, you actually have a smartphone, which is a supercomputer, in your hand that you could easily type into Google to find your sources.
Yeah, I live in Las Vegas, which is a de facto sanctuary city. And do you know what I'm a union
Oh, so you just have
bartender.
more anecdotal stories where I can actually give you statistics
that
and
couldn't
data.
count. Me telling what I do for a living. and
If
giving
you
an
actually
example. No,
Google,
want
if
a
you
case
actually
study
look
from
up in
Harvard,
Google
and then that's gonna prove my
anecdotal
point.
stories,
And
it
that's why
literally
you
tells
lost.
you anecdotals are not provable. That's why I don't accept them because it's
So
your
there-
thoughts and
so you know
feelings
what?
and they
You're
are not
right.
provable.
There's there's no illegal aliens in the country, and there's not causing any
I
problems.
didn't even say that. When did
We're
I say
all
that?
imagining it.
Wow.
That's because I don't have a
this
case
is
study.
another thing that he doesn't get. This is another thing
What
that I
don't I
didn't
get?
say. That's
What don't I
another
get after
thing that I
working for
didn't
40
say.
years? What don't I get?
Again,
What don't I get?
do you just like putting words in other people's mouths?
No, you like talking over me. I told you why. I support
Maybe
Donald Trump.
maybe
Deportation.
maybe
You asked
maybe
me
if
why.
you
I said
maybe if you
it'll
stopped interrupting me every 5 seconds when I'm in the middle of talking, I wouldn't have to turn down my volume so the sound of your voice interrupting my sentence entire time. And see, even now, like, I can see it when you're talking, even though I can't hear you right now. I can still see that you're actively talking because my computer tells me that you're talking while I'm in the middle of a sentence.
Yeah. So anyway, I support Donald Trump because of the deportation. I think it'll raise wages.
It's not, but hey, man, you want to keep telling yourself
because
that? You
immigration
keep
makes us
telling
richer,
yourself
right?
that.
Is that what you're
There's
gonna say?
actually no direct correlation causation that says
Of course
that
not.
there is
It's just
actually
like-
no direct correlation causation. I know that those are probably words that you don't understand, and that's okay. You're just a working class man. I get it. I actually went to school and did some things. YouTube, I'm restarting real quick on the vertical, so I'll be right back. I know
You're
and
so
I
much
understand.
better than I am
I
because
know
you
I
went to
don't
college,
consider
right?
I don't consider myself
of
better
course
than
you
than
do.
anybody else.
What
I
would
don't
this
consider
idiot know
myself better
anything
than
about?
I didn't call
Right.
you that, sir. I did not
Right.
call you
You
that,
don't
sir.
let me talk every time I start to talk.
Literally,
you
I
interrupt me
was
and talk
still in the
over me.
middle of talking when you interrupted me
What
again.
point are you trying to
I
make?
was still in
That
the middle of
immigration
talk.
makes us
Maybe
richer?
if you hadn't talked over me
Is that your
again,
point?
maybe if you hadn't talked over me again, I could have finished my sentence and I could have
What
had
point
my
are you
statement
trying
out
to
the
make?
entire
Let's
time.
cut to the
I
chase.
don't know. Maybe I have to
Immigration makes us
restart my
richer?
entire
Is that
thought
what you're trying to
process
say?
again because you continue to interrupt me in the middle of my talking. Even now, you're continuing to interrupt me in the middle of me talking. Okay? So when I'm asking you to show a correlation causation, that is meaning you have to show the direct effects of one thing causing another, right? That's correlation causation. So you have to make a provable point that shows one thing causes the other, right? So for example, the claim that was made under Donald Trump in his very first presidency, when he said that lowering the corporate tax rate was going to increase the wages for the working class, after that was done, we know that to be provable and false. That was provably false. And that's based off the Department of Labor statistics that were put out during his time in presidency, right? Being president of the United States. That wages, in fact, did not increase as a direct result of the TCJA being passed under Donald Trump's first term. The only time that we saw the average wage actually increase was when all of the lower class workers, such as yourself, unless you were in what was considered there's a specific word, but
No,
anyways.
I'm a low-class slob. You're right.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't say that, sir. If you let me finish,
You're absolutely right.
Wow, stop putting words in my mouth that I didn't say. Cool.
You
Thank
said
you.
lower-class worker. I'm a lower-class worker. I'm a slob. You're right.
I didn't say that about you.
You just said lower-class worker.
Am I so lower than the CEO? Are you lower than the CEO?
I'm a slob.
Are you lower than a CEO?
Yeah, I'm not a CEO.
Okay, great. That's what I meant. If you would actually let me finish my sentence instead of you interrupting me again, we would have gotten
You
there.
can talk for another 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is my stream. I'm going to do what I want. So
I understand.
when we're again talking about, why is this not working? Sorry.
When you have too much of something, it's worth less. Labor
That's your
included.
theory. It's still not.
Oh my
like-
God, are you that silly? If I have 100 people applying for my job, let's say I own a company, and I got 100 people applying, you don't think I can make some moves as far as salary, benefits?
Oh,
But if I
dude,
only
they do
have
that
2 people
anyways,
and I need to fill those
regardless. They do
positions-
that anyways, regardless. They do that anyways, regardless.
So you think having
Again, so here, let me help you out again.
Is going to make us richer.
That's literally not what I said. Literally not what I said. Again, I don't understand. Okay, so the only time that we saw the average wages increase as a result of the TCJA was when C-19 occurred. And as a result of C-19, unless you are working what was considered a necessary job, essential workers, right? All of them, if you were not an essential worker, everyone else was laid off except for the CEOs who still took a paycheck during that time. So that was the only time we actually saw a pay increase occur from the lower of middle class. And it wasn't even then. That was just the average wage increase according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and that was a direct result of the only people still receiving a salary being the CEOs of the company.
Well, the CEOs of any company are going to make the lion's share.
They are. And that's what I'm explaining to you. This is a correlation causation that you would have to prove that again. I'm explaining to no, I don't. What was my original premise when I went into this?
The 1965 Immigration Act. And that's when unions and wages started to stagnate.
Nope.
Yep. Because they haven't gone up. I mean, I get raises because I'm in a union, so I do okay. And I'm a bartender, I make okay. I'm not going to lie, I do all right. Yep, the 1965 Immigration Act. Let's bring everybody in from the third world because these workers are asking for too much.
The consensus among economists is that immigration is not the primary driver. Of course. Why would anybody believe actual people whose job is to do this?
Why would anybody believe an actual working person that has to punch a clock for the last 40 years?
Yeah, because nobody else on the planet Earth, nobody else in the United States of America, aside from you, has ever punched a clock. I got it. No one else except for you in the entire United States of America has ever punched a clock. It's only you, right?
Oh my God. Let's not ask the working class slob. Let's not hear him out.
You're the one calling yourself that. I never said that.
You don't want to hear it. When 77 million people spoke in November, you didn't want to hear it. And you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this. How could these stupid people
never said that either
vote for this orange guy?
I don't even use the word stupid 99% of the time.
Do you support Donald Trump?
No, I do not.
Why don't you?
Cool. I don't even normally answer this question. I'm going to humor you for 2.5 seconds. I don't support Donald Trump because I don't support a president that goes against articles and amendments of the United States Constitution, including Articles 1, 2, 3, and 6 of the United States Constitution, Amendments 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 14 of the United States Constitution amendments, right? And I don't support a president that talks about annexing our neighbor Canada. I don't support a president that talks about buying another country known as Greenland or taking about the Panama Canal after it was given back to the country of Panama in 1999 by an act of Congress because of riots that broke out due to our military occupation of the canal. You good?
Yeah, because as far as Canada, I don't think we don't need to take Canada over. They're not causing any problems. I don't see a flood of people escaping their lives to come from Canada here. So I could care less. I mean, they're our little brother. I'm not worried about Canada. That's not an issue. We're not annexing Canada. Who cares?
Have a good one, man. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
I'm here.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yes.
Do you still support him?
Yes.
What year were you born?
2000.
Okay. Why do you still support Trump?
Because of the immigration policies.
Okay. Really quickly. This is called, like, accountability. Yes, guys, I was incorrect about how many planes flew to Iran. You know why I can say that? Because I can admit when I'm wrong. I looked it up while a guy was just giving me a yappuccino I didn't order. But hey. Okay, so primarily, what about immigration? Is it that you're so, like, for, I guess, or against? I don't know which way.
I like how
Thanks, Keith.
that it's less prominently. I feel like it will raise the average livability in the United States with less people.
Do you have anything to show the correlation causation of that?
No, I don't.
So you're just going off of your feelings?
Yes.
Correct, Jim. 7 took off, 4 were decoys, 3 are the ones that boomed. Cool. So what else do you have, since you can't prove it?
So it, like, even though, you know, it can like help the economy with more and more people, right? Because jobs.
Right, Sophia.
It can
With
I don't know.
jobs.
You're right.
Okay. Can I ask you something?
I don't have a reason.
Well. Oh, I mean, okay. All right.
I just feel like I'm more aligned with his beliefs than others.
Thank you, Amber.
He's the lesser of the two evils.
Evil is placing a moral value, correct?
Yes.
Cool. Lesser of two evils. Would a lesser of two evils have been adjudicated for committing sexual assault on a woman? Thank you, CJ.
No.
Would a lesser of two
don't like
evils have been
been
convicted of 34 felonies?
I feel like he should have been, like, with the how, you know, it's supposed to be equal for everybody. I feel like if a normal person was charged for what he got charged for, they would have, well, it's after the statute of limitations, but whatever. You know. I feel like more consequences would have been.
Would a lesser of two evils talk about violating consent and just grabbing them by the hoo-ha?
No.
No. Would a lesser of two evils admit to going into the dressing rooms of Miss Teen USA just because he was the owner to see girls in various stages of undress?
I mean, was it proved that he did?
He admitted it himself. The words came out of his mouth on public radio.
Are we sure it was him?
Yes, because there's also video of him while he's talking.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. Would a lesser of two evils talk about having sex in common with his daughter?
Probably not.
Probably not, yeah. All right, TikTokers, until we get this up to 80,000 likes, we are going over to sub-only chats. So get to tapping. All right, well, man, I'm going to say that your ploy on morality is not panning out very well. I would suggest that you look into what's happening and really get an understanding. And if you support someone treating humans as less than, then I think you need to go back to church and relearn your Bible in that case. Have a good one, man.
I was going to say,
Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
I am.
Is that you again?
Well, why did you hang up on me? All I said is...
Because all you were doing was yapping. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
I am 32.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Awesome. Do you still support him?
I'm not a big fan of the immigration, but yes, ma'am, I do. Like y'all were talking on the stats and everything, and I think something everybody's missed is if you take people willing to work, and I'm not saying Americans aren't lazy and want too much money and everything. I actually work for a small company, and I'm grossly underpaid, but like I believe in the idea. But I'm not challenged by like a migrant worker. And actually, I work with a Mexican national, like full blown, like immigrated probably 15 years ago, and he's been a citizen for 6 years because we talked about it, and he got his paperwork squared away back then. But I think if you take the availability of cheap labor, I'm not saying unskilled labor, I'm not saying anything like that, but a cheap labor, because all they're doing is getting a paycheck, sending it home, taking care of their families, 100% behind that. But if you take the availability of that, like you can't be illegal and not pay taxes on your paycheck, or the boss be able to pay you under the table in cash. If you take that out, it forces them to take care of it in-house, like push labor more towards people that are here, keeping the money in our economy, in our community's economy. That's just my belief on immigration, but it's a violation of the Fourth Amendment for them to just like randomly pick up people because like safing your papers, property, and all that stuff. So I think that's an overstep. Like the raid they did today out of the back of a Penske truck, like that's a violation of like the Bill of Rights.
Okay.
Are you there, miss?
I am.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. No, I don't know exactly what point you were trying to make.
Oh, I was just calling to your stream, and everybody was like pro deportation and everything, but
yeah, so
it was just my input on it.
No, you're fine. I think I understood part of what you were saying, and let me be clear for anyone that's wondering. No, I absolutely do not agree with companies hiring undocumented immigrants that aren't able to prove that they can be here or don't provide an ITIN number that allows them to pay into our tax system and pay into Social Security and Medicaid and things like that. That I don't agree with, right? Like, I don't think you're going to find anyone that actually agrees with companies outwardly hiring undocumented immigrants that also don't have documentation or an ITIN.
Yeah, they call it like I-9 in my state. I think it's a federal form. You have to fill it out.
That's
like,
a federal form for verification.
To be employed. Yeah. So, but the joke on this, if you pay taxes on like goods you buy and like property tax, like I'm a cigarette smoker, so like I pay a cigarette tax that pays for the road, that pays for this. Does that not make you qualify you for the Bill of Rights? And that's the whole joke. And I do think it's a violation, them just picking people up and be like, oh, let me see your papers. Stalin did it in he'd like shut down markets and be like, oh, just like, let me see your papers. Who takes their federal ID to Walmart every day? Like, I know you have your driver's license, but minors or people like 17, 18 that walk there are homeless people, and it just puts them in a situation where the fruit of the bad tree is what the legal system calls it, and it is a violation of the Bill of Rights, civil rights. But there's other things he does good, like playing middleman for like worldwide conflicts, like India and Pakistan. He shut that down in 4 days.
No, he had nothing to do with that. Like,
oh, really?
India themselves said that he had nothing to do with it. Just as the same way that he takes credit for Taiwan and Cambodia, even though I don't remember what the position is called for India exactly, but the leader of India specifically said when he called...
Yeah, he's a prime minister.
Okay.
His last name is Moody.
Moody, okay, thank you. When he specifically said that I want no involvement from a third party country right now because it's still in this beginning, and I believe that we can come to an agreement on our own. And at the end of the day, he only accepted intervention with Malaysia, right? Like, that's who actually helped them come to terms, was a country that was closer to them, right?
So, go ahead. Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, like, I'm just being clear. He actually didn't help in that situation. The India straight up said that he had nothing to do with helping negate the issue with Pakistan.
So,
it's just him taking credit for that.
India and Pakistan have had like a border dispute for 200 years,
Mhm.
and they
A
would
lot
have.
of them have.
I believe they would have took it to all out like conflict because both of them have like a pro nuclear doctrine, and Trump did intervene, and I know for a fact he put out a statement, and Moody acknowledged him, and the supreme leader of Pakistan acknowledged that he said something, and it de-escalated because they would have continued forever. That's like the
That's an
Israeli and
assumption.
Pakistan conflict.
The
Oh,
only
for
thing
sure.
Donald
Yeah,
Trump
well,
did
it's
was threaten additional tariffs or sanction, which he's doing right now anyways on India. So, especially then when it didn't help him in any way, shape, or form, India, right, to continue to say, no, you didn't help me, then that's why I say I honestly don't think he did help him. And that's why I'm like, no, because he still went and did it anyways. And if India thought that it was going to help him to let him negotiate or say that, yeah, we'll give him credit for this.
okay. We can skip past that one. I don't agree with the whole the Israel us just pretty much sucking off Netanyahu. I apologize, but I was like, I think that's a joke. Like, but the Gaza does need help, and I think we've been the only one pushing for it. Actually, there's a video of a full-blown English citizen helping for, it's like the Gaza humanitarian something. It's like I wish I could remember the name of it, but I'm sorry. But they doxed him, the whole internet, and the UK government's going to prosecute him for aiding a terrorist organization, and right now he's abroad, so they can't arrest him. But that's just a regular, and he was feeding people from Gaza, so I don't agree with that. That's another violation of civil rights.
Okay. So, I mean, what exactly do you still support Trump on? It seems like you have a lot of disagreements with the way that he's running this right now.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about leadership. It's like it's our job to. I'm not saying blindly follow, be like yes or no, anything you want, but it's our job to back the play. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, I'd rather him than definitely Joe Biden. I'd rather him definitely Kamala Harris. Can I share an anecdote with you and you not hang up with me? 2 minutes, like a solid minute.
Sure.
I won't swear. You actually hung up on me the other day, but you asked me if I voted for Trump, and I said yes. And I voted from federal prison. I'm a January 6th rioter, 100%. I'm from South Carolina. Long story short, all that is, you can look me up. My name's Thomas Castleman. It was like I pled guilty to assault, and then later on got enhancements for a deadly weapon, the whole 9 yards. Like, I don't agree with everything he does, but it's like a boss. You have to point me in the right decision. Like, if I find out he's on paper, I'm going to feel he needs a wood chipper. Don't get me wrong, like the whole sex offender Epstein list. But like, I also know that's like a long game. The government's been lying to us forever. And Trump was one of those things that's just destabilizing the whole system. Like, I don't agree with, I don't know, low wages and like the job, or people owning houses and charging rent through the roof, and every month it going up 2%. I don't agree with corporations running over people's rights and suing for intellectual property from somebody that created something. But I'm gonna back the play. I'd rather the person that's gonna shake the tree and we might get fruit, as opposed to we just going with the status quo where they killed the president for speaking against the deep state, and then later on, and then you figure out everything, Marilyn Manson was a psyop, and all these things are true, and the government did it to us. So why would I want somebody that the government and the media says is, oh, these people are going to change the world? I want the one that's, he's scary. And that's the reason you buy to play.
All right, man.
Yes,
By the way,
ma'am.
what state were you serving in federal prison when you voted?
I was at, so when I voted, I was in Arkansas.
They don't let you vote from federal
Oh,
prison
yes,
in
ma'am.
Arkansas. I actually looked this up the other day, and there's
Oh,
only
yeah,
two states that
was
actually
the,
allow
that
it.
was the, that was the state level. I was a federal inmate. I didn't belong to the state. I was a
There's
federal
still
inmate.
only
And you
two
can't-
states,
you-
and
you
South
can't-
Carolina isn't one of them either. It would have
No,
to be.
no. It's a human right. It's a right as an American citizen. I didn't plead guilty to a crime that made me to where I couldn't vote. And technically, I didn't plead guilty to a violent crime. That's another funny thing. And I assaulted 4 officers with bear mace. One was a lieutenant. You can go
So
ahead and Google all that.
the only two states that allow someone to vote while they are incarcerated is Maine and Vermont, and that's for anyone that's incarcerated for felony convictions, including in federal prison, are the only states that allow individuals to retain their right to vote.
I was a federal inmate. State laws apply to me if I committed a crime in Arkansas. But federal inmates are allowed to vote. I know for a fact. I know murderers that voted because technically it wasn't a violent crime. That's what exempts you. I was pardoned, so I could own a firearm. But like at the time, if I would have served my time, because it was 40 months plus 3 years of supervised release, and I'm like, I know I voted. I can text. Can I text this number and you get a text message right now? Because I'll send you a picture of my federal ID. And I voted. Like, I'm not why would I embellish that? Any other fact, like, I mean, I know, like, I'm not going to, like, put my address on blast, but it's in the federal indictment. They say that they ID'd me off a wart on my hand. And, like, I had short hair and, like, and 100% I voted. I was a federal inmate. I wasn't in the possession of a state, so you were allowed to vote. You were allowed to do a lot of things. The federal laws are weird because technically it wasn't a violent crime. I pled 18111A. B is the deadly weapon enhancement. C is by means of conveying threats by means of firing explosives. Like, that's the statute I pled to. I was originally indicted for assault ×4 with a deadly weapon, parading and demonstrating, remaining in restricted grounds. It started off at 50.
Okay. I'll look it up. You don't have to text me anything. I don't really read the text messages because I get a lot of weird things through text. So,
yeah.
Thanks anyways.
I'm definitely gonna call you again. My friend sent me your stream, and like I think it's the funniest thing in the world because like you like straw man pick arguments and try to run away with them, and we argued about tariffs the other night. I don't know if you remember or not. And in the end, consumers pay tariffs. Like, it's a bad thing for the short term, but it leads us to build up infrastructure. Like, but it's a good stream. I was just like, I like your content. It's definitely a plus.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I hope to speak to you again.
All right. Have a good night.
You as well.
I didn't mean to cut you off. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Nigger, child porn, nigger, baby.
So immature. Anyways, Captain said 3-time voter and current supporter, appreciate the public debate, but you need to seriously stop being condescending to your callers about their values. I'm going to be honest with you, Captain. I don't try to be actively condescending. Typically, it's a match of energy, and when somebody is expressing that they seem to know more about me than I know personally about myself, I don't usually give them a lot of breath in order to continue to do it, and I try really hard to not be that way. Am I passive aggressive? Absolutely.
Trying to be actively condescending.
Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Okay. Bye, Lucky Paws. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Okay. Check out your flatulence, man. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes,
How old are you?
43.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yes.
Do you still support him?
Half and half.
Okay. What year were you born?
1982.
Okay, cool. Sorry, you sound young, so that's a compliment when I'm asking that.
Oh, thank you.
Of course, and thank you, Exita, for the 2. I might have said your screen name wrong, but thank you. Okay, what is the main reason that you still support Trump?
Well, I mean, he's somebody else earlier touched on it when they said something about the border, and it's a little sensitive, and I mean, I don't know at all, but I just know what I've read, and from what I've seen, he's cut down on the whole, illegal immigrants coming in at a whopping, I could be wrong again, I'm just saying from what I read, about an 86% decrease in immigration. I've seen pictures, there was pictures of border patrols just with AR-15s just lined up and down the border, where it just made you think like, yeah, there's no way anybody's coming in. But then, fast forwarding to a couple months ago with this whole tariff thing, and it's affected me personally, my job. It's, costed me hours and time and money and
Can you stop the stream in the background?
Oh, sorry.
Or at least turn it down. I'm sorry that I could just hear it. Yeah, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, there we go. No, just what I was saying, and fast forwarding to, a couple months ago when, everybody was just scared of the whole tariffs thing, and it's affected me to the point where, it's cost me, hours and hours and hours on my job. And so, I'm kind of like in between.
Gotcha. So,
And I just want to know, do you agree? Do you feel the same? Just kind of, trying to get your thoughts on it, since it's kind of a split, kind of a split thing, either way. So I just want to know, what do you agree? Do you think, there's some wiggle room in there, or
my thoughts on what exactly?
If it was right to support him in the beginning, but then to feel iffy about it afterward, considering all the everything that's been going on. Like I said, everybody was like, hey, hoorah, yeah, and he caused the 86% decrease in illegal immigrations, illegal immigrants coming in to the U.S. But at the same time, he's basically screwing the entire economy with the tariffs. So it's, do I support him? Do I not? And I just don't know how to feel about it. That's why I say, I did at first, but like a lot of others that I've been, keeping up with, listening, they kind of, steer the same way, where, everything was great at first, but, now he's kind of screwing everybody with the tariffs, and now, the whole big, beautiful bill thing, which, people have mixed feelings about, and then the whole cover-ups of the Epstein list. They had, we're going to release it, we're going to release it, we're going to release it, to all of a sudden, hey, there was never no Epstein list. It was just all, facade. So it's almost like we're kind of trying to get treated like puppets. Like, oh, okay, I guess there was never an Epstein list. Oh. So, just one topic, but seems like there's a lot of, you hear one thing, but then, a month or two or several months later, they sweep things under the rug. I mean, so what are we to believe? Because, there's millions of people that were waiting on this whole, for example, Epstein list to be revealed, just to come to find out that, they're going to come and say, hey, oh, there was never no list. So, I mean, are we, what do they think we are, idiots? Or I don't know. It's just, it's a whole puppet show at this point.
I mean, if you don't actively support him anymore, I would agree with that sentiment.
I'm like pretty much on.
I'm glad that you've come around to a degree. So I do hope that you have a good night. I'm going to open back up the call line. So thank you.
Of course. Yes. Have a good night. Thank you.
You too. Guys on TikTok, we're just not doing enough to keep everybody in here. Guys, come on. Yes, it was a venting session for him. That is true. Nothing wrong with that sometimes. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Well, yes, it's me, Donald Trump, and let me tell you something. A lot of people are being nasty to me, and it's quite frankly rude. And I love your stream, by the way. I've been watching it for, I would say, 5 minutes, but it's the best stream I've ever watched. And I just gotta say thank you for supporting me. And all these people that don't support me, they're fake news. Fake news.
Fake news. Yep, I totally agree. Well, President Trump, never thought I'd get the pleasure of hanging up on you, but thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
How old are you?
20.
Can you stop the stream in the background?
Yeah, I just did.
Awesome. It wasn't that great of an impression, if I'm going to be honest. I've heard better. Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Do you still support him?
I do.
Okay. And what year were you born?
2004.
Okay. Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So what's the main reason that you voted for Trump?
I voted for him because I like some of his policies and stuff, and especially now.
My bad. I'm sorry. I asked the wrong question. Why do you still support Trump? My bad.
Okay. Yeah. So why I still support him is, well, one of the reasons is I'm a Washington sports fan, and when they changed the name of the Redskins to the Commanders, I was very upset about that. So with him trying to bring that back, I'm very happy and very supportive of that. And I know some people say it's just him trying to get out of the Epstein list, but I've seen the organization that's trying to get it back, and I really believe in them, and I really hope he can do it.
Why, do you think it's appropriate for a president of the United States to get involved with what private corporations do that have nothing to do with monopoly clauses?
I mean, the president can't force them to do, but the president can voice his opinion.
That's an odd thing to hang your hat on.
I mean, like, yes, the president cannot force a private corporation to change anything. That's true. But he does have some powers to influence and like, change things. Like, he has his opinion, and he can do what he does.
Gotcha. Really quickly, I'm just addressing this. So, Trent, I plan on trying to give LJ a ring. I don't know if he'll answer, but I plan on giving him a ring towards the end of this. Okay. So, what other reasons do you still support Trump? Because there's a reason why they changed it, because it's a very negative. It's not a good thing to say. Anyways, what other reasons do you have to support Trump?
I don't know his current stance, but I remember that I was in the Boy Scouts, and he went to the the National Scout Jamboree, and he talked there. And it seems like he was very pro-Boy Scouts, and then they changed all that. Again, I don't know his current position because he hasn't really talked about it, but I would suspect that he would agree with the Boy Scouts staying the Boy Scouts, and I did not agree when they changed that.
All right. You can go back out inside, though, and get away from those crickets. What just happened? I don't know. Thanks for calling the stream. Okay, bye. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yep.
How old are you?
I am 25.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yep.
Do you still support him?
Mm-hmm.
What year were you born?
1955. Fuck you.
Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
I didn't like it when you hung up on me. I didn't like that. We're gonna run that again.
No means no. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
I hate niggers. Hell yeah.
Seek help. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How old are you?
Hi.
How old are you?
I'm 37.
Okay. Do you support Trump?
Reluctantly, yes, I do.
Okay. Why is it that you still actively support Trump?
Well, I just feel like before he was elected the first time, our country was kind of at a breaking point, where we were just bringing on the same establishment people over and over, Republicans, Democrats, and they all seemed to really not be, representing voters. They were all representing big money, and it didn't matter if it was George W. Bush or Barack Obama. They kind of seemed like they were working for the same people, and it wasn't us.
Okay. Give me just 1 second. TikTok, can we clear out this gift goal real quick? Appreciate you if we can. Let's go ahead and get it up to 125,000 likes. I'm going to mute for half a second. Thank you for everyone watching over on Twitch. It is new for me. Kayla, that comment was really funny on Twitch. For somebody asking on YouTube in the chat, what does age have anything to do with it? I'm dual streaming or multi-streaming, and TikTok doesn't like anyone under the age of 18 talking, so I can't speak to anyone under the age of 18. Also, at that point, I would just be like, I'm bullying a child, and I don't want to feel like I'm bullying a kid. That's just not okay. But a friendly reminder that if you guys do send a super chat or you become a member of the channel, I do put that right up on the screen, just like I'll put up NG really quickly, just to say hello and make a point. So if you guys do send that, it just has helped me continue to get on every single day to have these conversations for just a couple of hours, well, at least 6 days a week. Okay, caller.
Yep.
So basically, is your claim deep state? I didn't really follow what you were saying aside from you saying big money, and it's very interesting to say big money when their Senator Josh Hawley literally introduced a bill to try to get money out of politics. And when it was called the Pelosi Act, the Republicans were on board with it, but when it wouldn't get bipartisan support to leave the committee, he went and worked with the Democrats, added a few more things in there to also get them to agree, and then all of a sudden all the Republicans are like, no, I should be able to make all my money. I shouldn't be doing this. I should be rich. You should want people to come in to specifically make money. And by the way, it's only asking them to just stop selling and buying stock at a mass amount, because, we did have that issue. That's something that Pelosi was accused of. Hi, Melanie. And so I think it would have been funny if they actually would have kept it staying as the Pelosi Act, because that would have been a big FU. I don't like Nancy Pelosi. I just want to be clear. I don't like Pelosi. So,
I 100% agree with you.
I don't like her.
I think that's the biggest problem with our political system in this country, is that both of these parties are so good at pitting us against each other that we get so focused on supporting one team or fighting the bad team that we just lose sight of what's actually good for us as a country. And I think that having somebody like Trump actually win not once but twice is just such a looking glass on the fact that none of these people have our best interest at heart. And I really think that now more than ever, in my lifetime anyway, there are more people than ever aware of the fact that these people are all just so full of crap And I think it gives us a little bit of an opportunity to look at ourselves. Not that people will do it, but I think it gives people the chance to think less on party lines and more on what's actually good for the country.
So is that why Donald Trump spoke out against the bill that would require all individuals in Congress, including the vice president and the president going forward in the future, not currently, that when they get elected into their next term, which we all know that won't affect Donald Trump, right? Because he can't run again. Donald Trump spoke out against this bill that would require all Congress members, future vice presidents, and president to divest from any stocks or crypto coin exchanges, sans their own retirement policy, right? Because that's separate. Do you think that's good that Donald Trump spoke out against that bill being signed? Because that would literally take any arguments of stocks being traded by Congress members, VPs, or the President of the United States out of the equation. And it would fix a lot of issues so we know that they are working for us, not to pad their own pockets.
No, I think that's actually a bad thing. I had a general support for him. I felt like he was a better choice of who we had, or the crappy choices we were presented. But yeah, he's clearly protecting the interests of his friends, and that's the same old political BS that we've been dealing with my entire life in our political system, and probably generations beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't agree with everything the guy does, but I did vote for him.
No, I was just using that to make a point about big money in politics, that Donald Trump has become the establishment since his current presidency, and all of the acts that he's done to prove it, including intentionally or potentially intentionally bombing the stock market in April with his first threat of tariffs and then taking them back. And then now speaking out against a bill that would literally change the way that we are running politics at the federal level, especially for members of Congress. Honestly, I would say that this needs to extend out to the Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court won't even vote on any ethics for themselves. Well, let me rephrase. The Republican majority Supreme Court keeps shooting down any ethics for them to follow.
Right. I mean, you make some really great points there. I don't have a deep enough understanding of global economics to really weigh in on the tariff subject. But clearly, we got to find a way to get money out of our politics on a national level. And I, to be honest, have no idea how we're going to ever do that, if it's even possible. But
that bill is a first start.
Yeah, that bill would have been a great start. So it's a lot of complex problems and not a lot of solutions. And I'm not the one to have a solution. But I do want to say, before I get out of here, that people like you getting online and having like a legit conversation with people who disagree with you is a huge step in the right direction. And I want to thank you for doing this.
Hey, I try to have conversations with people. Let me be clear, guys. I don't know who wasn't here yesterday or not, but I had an entire 40-minute conversation with somebody, and it went well. Like, even in touching on the topic that's considered a passionate topic of mine, I'm not going to bring it up right now because I don't want to talk about it. Like, we had a very good conversation, just had a good conversation with him. Everything was fine. Like, this is what I prefer to do. So I thank you. I appreciate that. I prefer to have conversations and not someone screaming at me. But if someone's going to come up here screaming, I'm going to match their energy to some degree.
Yeah, and the people who are getting on here and just being short and rude and disgusting about stuff is just, it's not helping.
He gets it.
The day we stop talking to people we disagree with is the day we lose what makes this country have the ability to be great. Like, we disagree with each other. We voted for different people, but we can try to find some type of common ground and people who make a platform for it to happen are doing good work. And I don't care if I disagree with you or not. The fact that you're doing that, you have my respect, and I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you as well. I hope you have a good night.
You do the same. Keep fighting the good fight.
Thank you. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
You have a horrible connection. Please try calling back. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
I'm here.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Okay. Do you still support him?
It was actually, yeah, I do actually.
Okay.
For the most part.
That's fine. We can just stick by for why you still support Trump.
Well, a couple of things. I mean, for one, he seems to be bringing in money and trying to bring things back up to snuff. All right. He's eradicated the whole idea of having men playing in women's sports, which is a bigger deal than, I mean, it is a really big deal. Don't have daughters myself, but I do have little cousins and stuff that all play sports, and it was affecting them and everything else. So that's a pretty big one. Just the sheer fact that Kamala was the opponent, that was my main motivation. This is my first time I'd ever voted. And that was one of my main motivations for even going to voting, period.
Can I ask you a quick
Having her as
question?
the president would be absolutely horrible.
I don't care about relitigating the election results, who won, who would have been better. But did I like tell you to call into the stream, or did you just do it on your own?
No, I just did them all.
Okay.
I
So I just wanted to prove a point to Marissa, who says that I have fake callers and I already know who's calling. I don't know who you are. What's your name?
Dakota.
Dakota? Don't even know a Dakota. Maybe from like when I was in middle school. But
right.
I'm just saying. And you can try calling right now, Marissa. It's going to give everybody a unavailable right now because I put the line on Do Not Disturb. Otherwise, all you guys hear the whole time is beep, 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 beep. And it's really annoying.
It took me quite a few times to get through. For sure. So,
yeah. So go ahead. Like, what would you say is your number one thing for why you still support Trump right now?
The fact that he listens to us. He listens to the people whenever they communicate with him, whether it be via Twitter or Truth or whatever the case may be. There's a lot in the news saying that he's tacoing and all that kind of silly stuff, but I don't think that's what it is. He's genuinely, like, when he makes an announcement or says something, like, the people let him know what they think, like, very loud and clear, through these platforms and everything. And I think his ego is his upside and his downside at the same time. I think he wants his legacy to be great. He cares so much about how the future and history perceives him that he wants to make everybody love him the best way he can, except for the people who hate him. And I think he's honestly given up on trying to win them over, and that's why he's such a prick, half the time about it. But he will hear what the people are saying, and when everybody's going against him, he tends to change the way he's thinking about it, or he's like, okay, well, I want to try it and see what happens, and if it doesn't seem like it's going to work out, he changes it. And I can't think of anybody else that really does stuff like that. He actually seems to care. Like I said, it may just be because of his ego, which I'm sure that plays a part of it. But he does seem to listen. And he's also caused so many more people to pay attention to politics that didn't before. Like me being one of them. 2016, 17, 18, I listened to what everybody had to say, just not paying attention myself, going based on, everybody talking, friends talking, all that kind of stuff. And I believed it all. And then I started paying attention for myself and realizing that a lot of this stuff isn't true. And so I started actually watching, press conferences and meetings and actually watching the this stuff happen in real time. And then I would see the news report on it, 30 minutes later, or that evening, and they would clip it out to make it look like he was saying something else. And once it came to that point, I was like, okay, there's more to it than Trump bad, Trump's racist, all this kind of stuff, because a lot of that stuff's not true. And it made me like really start having more respect for the fact that he was fighting the way he has. And like I said, the fact that he listens to us and tends to change based on what the people actually want. I feel like that's kind of the definition of democracy. And
is he listening to his voter base right now when they're asking him to release the Jeffy files? I can't say his name because
that is
TikTok
my
is
number
sensitive.
one peeve with him. That's my number one. Like, I cannot stand that he's doing. That's it.
Didn't he also
I mean-
come out on his True Social page and tell everybody that I don't need your support if you're still demanding or requesting the release of this?
Yeah, and it pissed me off.
Is
Along
he
with pretty much
listening to
everybody else
people
I
when
know.
he moved Ghislaine Maxwell to a minimum security prison in Texas that doesn't have security cameras, so we don't even know if she stays in her cell or not?
Again, the whole Epstein situation, that is my big peeve with him. Other than the potential of him like giving Diddy a pardon too, I've heard that being rumored around. That better not happen either. Outside of that, like, I
Is he
mean,
being
but no, I
honest
don't
with us
agree
when
with that
he
whatsoever.
claims to not know Diddy at all, but then we have pictures of him with Diddy and we have video recording footage of him on The Apprentice or The Celebrity Apprentice talking to a girl about how great he thinks Diddy is?
I mean, he says all kind of stuff that you take with a grain of salt, but him personally,
No,
like
that's
him,
just
like
an
the type of
outright
person
lie.
that he is, period, isn't great, but it also gets the job done. Like, as a leader, he's good. I mean, I have moral qualms with a lot of people that, I mean, even I know personally, but I still love them. But I don't have to agree with every single aspect in order to still support him, when overall, I'm probably like a 70% agree, 30% disagree as far as Trump goes. So, I mean, it's still greater than a half and half, and definitely greater than I've felt about any leader in the last decade or so, at least. So, that.
Are you aware that in his first presidency that 147 historians rated him in the bottom 3 of all presidents?
Yeah.
So he was actually considered the top 3 of worst presidents of all time by 147 historians. I think one thing that you said is absolutely correct, that he just cares about how he looks, and that's it. I think that's the truest statement that you made, is that he cares about how he looks. Right?
It's not the worst motivating factor, though, is it?
Just
I mean,
really
there
quickly.
are worse motivations.
QTK, I gave you an invite to come up onto the panel because you just wanted to spam silly stuff. Like, if you don't understand QTK, and this is not to you. This is not to you.
I got you.
But QTK, you're now going to be muted, and let me be very clear with something with you here. It's not about celebrities taking pictures together, ma'am. It's him literally saying, I know Diddy, we're really good friends. I think he's a great person on The Celebrity Apprentice. There's a difference between taking pictures together and then claiming someone as your friend on national television. Again, very similar to what he did with Jeffrey. But hey.
Yeah, one thing with that, though, is, I mean, he does that with normal everyday people as well. Like, he when he's talking about something or somebody, he tries to make it more personal of a relationship sounding than what he actually has with them. He does that with everybody.
No,
and I'm sure I'm not taking up for him being friends with Diddy, but I mean, he does do that. He does that with people that just come up to Mar-a-Lago or anything. I mean, you see him do it all the time. So, I mean, it's just, I feel like that's a personality quirk he has, again, for approval. Like, hey, I know this guy, we're good friends or whatever, and y'all build off each other's reputation. I mean, it's not like he was going to the parties and, lubing up with the baby oil, right alongside Diddy.
I mean, I'm not accusing him of that at all. But I'm not going to say he's not going to do favors for his friend that he's known for a long time, right? Or the fact that he wished Ghislaine Maxwell well while she was up for her sentencing or on trial for the sex trafficking that we know she got convicted for, so she did it, and is asking for she thinks she's going to get a pardon. I honestly, so let me be clear, guys, really quickly. This is going to be an off take. I don't think that he's going to pardon her until he's on his way out the door. If he's going to give her a pardon, it'll be like in his last month of presidency. It won't be before the 2028 election. It will not be before the 2028 election. That is my thought process there. I don't think he will give her a pardon until after the 2028 election is over. So it might just be literally the next day. I don't know. But it won't be until after the election is called and the next person is voted in. Like, especially, he definitely will if it's towards the end. Like, that's my opinion. If he's going to pardon her, it's not going to happen until after the 2028 election. He's not going to ruin the chances of the next Republican candidate. I honestly don't think he would, right? But I'm just going to be honest, man. So it sounds like you mostly support Donald Trump on thoughts and vibes and feelings. But I, like, Menlito said, said his main defense is Donald Trump can't be a pervert because he doesn't know what he's saying. Like, I don't know if that was towards you. I didn't see the timestamp on that one, so sorry. But I don't know if that was towards you or the last guest. I'm not really sure, but just...
Yeah, that's something I wouldn't insinuate. That's
thoughts and vibes for like, oh, well, he's out in spotlight and he's talking to us every day because he's a salesman, right? That's literally what he is. He's like a used car salesman, but running the United States of America, which I would never want a used car salesman to run the United States of America. They're known for selling lemons, right? And I feel like, unfortunately, we got sold one big lemon, and that unfortunately is wrapped up in an orange package or an orange spray tan of name Donald Trump. Like, I just, that's what he is to me. He's just...
Do you not think we're in a better position now than we would have been if the election had gone the other way?
No, sir. Literally, in my honest opinion, whoever would have been the next president, right? If anyone other than Donald Trump was elected on November 5th, 2024, and then sworn into office on January 20th, 2021, they could have done absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And we would not be in the position that we are in today. We wouldn't be facing higher prices because of tariffs. We wouldn't be facing one of our biggest companies that sell us everyday products that we use every single day in our houses. Procter & Gamble telling us they're going to raise prices. We wouldn't be hearing Walmart talking about raising prices. We wouldn't be hearing Amazon talking about raising prices. We wouldn't be hearing American auto manufacturing companies like Ford, GM, telling everyone that they have had a record loss because of the tariffs that are being put in place across the world. Because as we know, like a lot of the American manufacturers, because they have manufacturing multiple places all over the world, let's just say between us and Canada, which is allowed under the USMCA, which is an agreement signed, put into place by Donald J. Trump in his first administration, right? You might have a car that goes back and forth to Canada and back into the United States 10 times before it's finished. So not only are they shipping it back and forth, and they're already paying what is called a duty on that, right, to ship it back and forth, now they're paying an additional 10, 15, 25% in tariffs just to get it over to Canada and then getting it back. So there's almost no guarantee. There's almost no way that they're not going to raise the price on new vehicles, right? We're already seeing an increase on just used parts for older vehicles. Like the cost of goods are already going up on vehicle manufacturing, vehicle repairs.
This is all temporary though, right? I mean, that's the whole point of the raising the tariffs is to get the manufacturing to come to us. We're already starting to build the plants and the warehouses.
We don't have the infrastructure still. We still don't have the infrastructure,
working
nor
on
do
it,
we don't have the infrastructure, nor do we have the land, and it takes years to get through all of that, right? Years to get it
Yeah,
up
but
and
you gotta
running,
start
years to get
somewhere
the
though, right?
machines, years to get the machines in place, years to get the hiring done. But the problem is, you're saying it's temporary, but there's no guarantee. Do the tariffs end just immediately when the plants open and we have American citizens hired? No, they don't. You want to know how I know this? Because do you happen to know who Scott Besson is?
Yeah.
Scott Besson is the Treasury Secretary, just for those who might not know. The Secretary of Treasury went out on national television. He didn't just say it to Fox News. He also said it to CNN, MSNBC. He said it to all of them. He said the tariffs are not going away, point blank, period. The tariffs are here to stay. So no, sir. According to the Secretary of Treasury, the tariffs are not going away. Even if we get manufacturing back in the United States for American-made vehicles under Donald Trump's presidency. He was very clear. Yes, sir, it still will.
Once the manufacturing is here, it won't be as big of a deal.
No, sir, we don't
because
have...
We're going to be making everything in-house.
No, we can't. We cannot source all of the raw materials, all of the rare earth materials within the United States of America that are needed to completely put together and assemble all of the little pieces within a car. We do not have that capacity. Something will always...
deals with the countries that do, correct? Well, aren't we cutting deals with the countries that do?
No, not all of them.
It's all a process. I mean, it's not something that's going to happen overnight. He even said before he started, it's going to hurt a little bit in the very beginning, because that's the way growth works. If nobody ever did it, then we would still be being ripped off by all these other countries, and
we're not being ripped
paying
off.
the front of almost everything. We're paying way more in taxes and tariffs and everything else to have everything shipped and brought in and everything else.
No, we're paying more now.
I mean, that's one of his biggest complaints.
We're paying more now. Let me ask you this. Let's see. Who up front, at the very, very front of it, who pays for tariffs? So we know we have a 15% tariff right now on the EU country. So let's just say Germany. If the United States has a 15% tariff on Germany, who is paying for the tariff?
I understand that the people are.
No. Up front, who is paying for the tariff?
Don't know, I guess.
The importing country. So here's the thing. Before, when we didn't have tariffs on all of these little pieces, right? Like, we only had extremely targeted tariffs to spur on specific industries within the United States, like tariffs on lumber and steel, for example, right? When we had extremely targeted tariffs, those work and continue to spur on our manufacturing. But when we have blanket tariffs on all products coming from one specific country or another, then it's going to be a mass exodus of what we are having. Like, it is literally American companies paying these taxes to the to the United States of America. It's not a foreign country paying it, right? And we didn't have these tariffs before on all of our pieces that were needed to come into this country to manufacture cars, to manufacture cell phones, to continue to replace batteries in cell phone or little pieces in cell phones, the screens in cell phones, everything that we use in today's society, computers, tablets, even your shoes, right? We didn't have all of these tariffs on every single product in existence coming into the country from other countries. So no, sir, we haven't seen this a lot before. We haven't seen it before where we have all of these blanket tariffs everywhere. We saw it briefly in his first administration, and I would even posit to say that led to our supply and demand crisis that we faced because of C-19, is because of the tariffs, and it was too expensive for companies to continue to import into America what was needed because they had to pay extra because of blanket tariffs. I would say that the blanket tariffs that we had in his first administration made C-19 even worse than it could have been. Yeah, that's a good point, Song. I like that one. Tariffs are literally taxation without representation because companies don't have any legal representation let's just say voting representation. They don't, right? Like it's tariffs are a net negative. Tariffs have been the cause of every single
recession, major depression that the United States of America has faced, with the exception of the housing crisis in 2008 under Bush. Right?
I don't know. I think the income tax is gotten pretty insane.
No,
Now, let me ask,
it's
so
literally
if he does pull off what
the
he
income
says-
tax didn't start until 1865. We had a crisis in 1867 that was very brief and very short lived, and that was because of the tariff rate at the time. We had a crisis in 1910 when they raised the tariffs on other country. We had the actual Great Depression in the 1930s that occurred because of the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act, where we saw American companies just flummox because they couldn't afford to import anything. Every single previous recession, major depression occurred as a result of tariffs being performed broadly across the world for all of the imports. If you can't understand that, because it's going to directly and negatively impact everyday citizens such as you, myself, and every single person watching this stream right now.
All right, serious question, and this is something
I might have the year
honestly
wrong. I
wanted
admit
to
that.
ask. If they work out for the better, all right, if all the stuff that he's doing happens to work out, and I'm not putting any eggs in the basket of him actually getting rid of the income tax in lieu of tariffs, that would be awesome, but not putting my hopes up that that's going to happen. But
it literally couldn't happen.
If things do work out for the better over the next year or two, or throughout his presidency, would you still hate him? Like, would you still be against him in every way? Or would you actually say, like, you know what, I didn't like how he was doing it, but I see what he did now? Because a lot of this stuff, like, there's been a lot since he got in. It's like every month there's a new something that everybody freaks out about. And then within a couple of weeks, things seem to level out. And then there's something new that everybody freaks out about, and then within a couple of weeks, it seems to level out. And I feel like a lot of it is just like, oh my God, he's doing this thing that we've never seen somebody do before. He's trying something new that we don't know if it's going to work or not, and it's going to be a disaster. But what if it's not? Would you be okay with him if things actually worked out, or would you still be like, no, Orange Man bad, I hate his guts?
I've never once said that I hate Donald Trump, so that's already a false narrative to start with.
Well, I wasn't accusing you of saying that. I'm just saying in general, that's the way like this seems to be perceived from the left, and I just was wondering if that's a sticking point, or if like things actually went well, would everybody be like, hey, okay, I see what he did. I didn't like the way he talked, or his tactics or whatever, but it all worked out, and we're better off for it. Would you say like, okay, good job, or like you still be against him? Like, would you still no, screw him and JD or whoever happens to run next time?
No, I have news for everyone. Like, I agree with some things that he's done on a limited basis. So, for example, I agree with the no tax on tips and no tax on overtime, even though saying it's not a tax is unequivocally incorrect, because it, in fact, is a tax. It's just a tax deduction at the end of the year to a limited amount. So, it's a good start. So, like, let's be clear. I've never once said that every single thing that Donald Trump does is bad. I'm very clear on the parts that I think that he's done that are bad. And we're not going to see the direct effects of the tariffs because they have a long-lasting consequence that are also still going to negatively impact small businesses. So if the tariffs are here to stay, let's say 2 years, and they're for 2 years, and we don't see them until they're at the end of the 2 years, I would want to see how many small businesses collapse within that 2-year time. And then let's say that the tariffs do go away after 2 years and everything's going back into place in a good way, in the way that you're saying. I would still have to weigh it against how many small businesses, which are the actual backbone of America, went out of business as a result of the tariffs. So therefore, only the major corporations are actually the ones making the money.
I try to be cautiously optimistic, I guess, is where I'm coming from, or where I come from in general. And I mean, like I said, there's a lot of stuff he says and does. I'll roll my eyes. I mean, my buddies show up to work and be like, hey, did you see this thing that he said last night? And I was like, that was stupid. You know, like I can say whenever he does or says something that's stupid or whatever else, but that doesn't, like I said, it's overcome by more of the positive that he's actually doing. And I don't know. I just want to be optimistic in the fact I don't want the country to fail. And I feel like a lot of what I see in this media and, online and everything. And of course, you got to take all that with a grain of salt. But it seems almost like a lot of the people want him to fail, which would result in all of us failing. And I don't understand that mindset. When we're all affected by his decisions that he makes, like he said, it's like everything he does, it has a direct correlation to our personal lives. And I don't know, I just want to have the hope that he's going to do the right thing in the moment. And it said the fact that he is willing to change his mind or willing to actually see what the people are saying, no, do not do that, or, whatever. Like I said, outside of the Epstein thing, I don't know. I feel like he actually seems to listen and he actually cares. Now, whether that's even caring about us or just caring about his reputation, it doesn't really matter, because either way, it's going to be changed for the better.
No, it's not. I'm usually a very optimistic person, but we've already have historical data that tells me what the outcome of things are going to be. And so I have to base it off of historical data that actually proves what the outcomes are going to be. And what we know is that, again,
you're awesome.
Blanket tariffs cause recessions. And now we can't even trust any data that actually comes from any statistical data that actually comes from the government, which is not something I've ever wanted to say, because I've always been very much, I trust the statisticians that are hired within the government, because Donald Trump's already admitted at this point that any time that anyone that's appointed to, let's say, the BLS, who's responsible for putting out our unemployment numbers, our job growth numbers, and also our, guess what? Our inflation rates, everything that is relied upon, he's already said that he wants to hire someone that's going to put out good numbers for him. So basically, he's admitted that he wants someone that is going to cook the books. When you admit that on national television, when you admit that on national television, when you admit it on a social media website, we have lost credibility as an entire country, because he wants to put in a loyalist, which I cannot agree with. Right? So I'm sorry, but you can say that. But yes, Junie,
I agree,
Gabby,
but I do think that it's foolish to have ever trusted him. I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to interrupt. I apologize.
No, it's not. I trusted. Let's be clear. I trusted the numbers under under Trump's first presidency. I trusted those because he never talked about putting loyalists in. I trusted the numbers under Biden. I trusted the numbers under Obama. When I go back and look at the historical numbers under Bush, Clinton, everyone prior to them, regardless of party, I have always trusted the numbers that were given by the experts, because they were put in place because they were experts in their field, and I could trust the data and the knowledge that they were putting out there. I no longer can trust it when he came out on television and said he was going to put in a party of loyalists prior to, right? And then he fires the leader of the BLS, all because, and also lies, right? Completely lied about the numbers put out for the job reports, right? So he said that they cooked the books for Biden, right? Over before the election, where they were saying that they had these great numbers. That's absolutely untrue, right? So in August of 2024, the Bureau of Labor Statistics updated their numbers to show the job decrease, the job numbers that were put out in June and July, updated the numbers in August to show that they didn't have as much numbers or job growth as they did, or as was originally led to believe. And the reason for that is because some of the people that are surveyed call in after the survey is actually closed, which leads to them updating the growth reports and the numbers, right? So we have reasons for why they do this. Instead of Donald Trump goes out on national television and says she cooked the books for Biden before the election and didn't update them until after the election, which is categorically untrue, completely false. We have data that shows that he lied out of his ass. He's not telling the truth about it. And then he fires her anyways, just because he didn't want someone telling the truth on what was actually happening within his cabinet. And now, again, I've never wanted to be the person that says, don't believe the government. But now I have to be the person that says, don't believe the government, because Donald Trump has admitted that he wants to cook the books.
I've never really trusted the government on much of anything.
Cool,
Do
then
you
just
honestly
don't
think
vote.
that the 800,000 or whatever it was extra jobs that they were talking about, do you think they would have subtracted those back off if it hadn't been called out on national TV? I mean, because it wasn't turned around until after it was called out and the whole country found out about it. And that's when the numbers got
I still think
reduced
they
back.
would have updated it. Just like nobody questioned Donald Trump's numbers. No one questioned Donald Trump's numbers over the summer, right? We all just agreed that over the middle summer months, June and July, that those were accurate. Cool, that's fine, whatever. We trusted it. And then the numbers were updated. And now it's all become Donald Trump's like, "Oh my God, they're out to get me again." That's what he continues to say. No, they would have still updated the numbers. I already explained to you the process before. This happens every single presidency, that the job numbers get updated a month after they've been put out. This happens every single presidency throughout history. So yes, I know for a fact it would have still been updated, even if they hadn't called him out, hadn't called the Biden administration out last year when it happened the first time, because it happens every single presidency that job numbers are updated. I encourage you to watch.
He has a valid reason
No.
to be suspicious, though.
No,
After
he does
they
absolutely
have been
not.
going after him for the
Absolutely
last,
not.
10
Absolutely
years.
not. Absolutely not.
Hey,
Absolutely not. Have you ever heard of? No, dude. I've been trying to end for a minute because I'm 25 minutes over my stream time. But I just want to be clear with you about something. Do you understand? Like, have you ever heard of the phrase "the boy who cried wolf"?
Yes.
That's what Donald Trump has done. He has cried wolf so
He's
many times
literally
it's
been,
no longer
like,
believable.
persecuted.
Ugh. I will not say in any way, shape, or form that there is nothing that shows that Donald Trump was not targeted by the DOJ. I would in fact posit so much to say that there was, to a degree, he was in fact targeted by the Department of Justice under the last administration. I have no problem saying that. But when, this isn't a debate, Michael. If you don't, I would love for you to tell me where, Michael, on anything on what I have on here, it says debate. Does it say commentary? Is that the word that I use? Does it say commentary? Is that the word that says, Michael? Does it say commentary? It says commentary, doesn't it, Michael? Commentary. Michael. When the job numbers have updated, it says commentator. I know. It says commentator. This is not a debate. You want to know why I know it's not a debate, guys? Because there is no moderator. There is not a set time that says, oh, did I misread this where it says political commentary? I don't see debater. That second word looks too long to be debater. Oh no. It says commentary. Holy, for fuck's sakes, y'all have a real problem reading. This is not a debate because the debates have times. Debates have timers. They have moderators. They have a set list of questions. This is not a debate. This is commentary. It's also not, that's a good point too, Gina. Lies aren't debatable. Again, we have historical data and evidence. Historical data and evidence that shows that the BLS updates job numbers every single time, just like the FBI updates their crime statistics every single year. If they find an error or a mistake, they update and modify the numbers. They do it every single time. This is historical data. You can call back in on Friday, Michael. I already said 3 minutes ago I would have been trying to end my stream for a minute. So you can call back on Friday. Just so you're aware. Again, not a debate. Never claimed this was a debate. I always say it's a conversation. Numbers get updated. I'm sorry that hurts your fifis. Real quick, TikTok, I'm gonna mute you for a second. YouTube, we're ending. As everybody should already know on YouTube, I don't stream on Thursdays. So I'll be back on live Friday at 7 p.m. Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I will see you guys then. And it is really funny that somebody that wants to continue to spam my comments is a top contributor to the live. That's always really